the latest trends and affecting the way we work, live and play, and why we can be optimistic about the technological future. So please welcome Javier. Thank you.
Hello, here we are. I shout a lot, so you will excuse me. I come from a Latin country as well, so I'll tell you something interesting. When I was preparing this presentation, I sent it for corrections to my ex-girlfriend, that is English, since English is not my mother tongue. She said that this presentation was uncharacteristically optimistic. Such is my reputation. Then I decided to show it to my current girlfriend. And I was expecting a different reaction from her, and that's exactly what I got. She actually laughed at me. Now, this presentation is based on what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and where we are going from there. Now, let me get my notes. And if you see me looking at my notes, it's because I had to put a lot in 20 minutes. Okay? So it's important for me to go over everything. Now, let's start. First of all, they say that everything that could be invented has been invented. As we will see later, there was a time when we thought that we couldn't create anything else. This was said, as you will see later, in 1899. Now, when we think about technology in general, and when I think about yourself as the public today here, I need to ask you a couple of questions. And it would be great if you can give me some feedback back. The first one is if you are passionate about technology, because in order to prepare this presentation, I had to assume that you are. But are you?
Yes.
Am I right? Yes, good. Okay, excellent. The second question that I want to ask you is, will you agree with me that humans as a species enjoy sharing resources and alleviating the suffering of others? Will you agree with that? Yes? No? No? So done. Okay, that's fine. And will you agree with me then when I say that humans as a species don't enjoy repressing or killing others in general? Will you agree with me when I say that?
Yes.
Yes? Good, okay. Now, who I am and why am I here? My name is Javier Marti. I'm a subconscious behaviorist. The future has always been my passion. In 2007, I wrote a predictive book about the future called Mobile Domains in the Future. Earlier than that, in 2004, I remember having written an article called Your Job Will Go Too, but you can do something about it. In that article, I posed my theory that in the future, most of the jobs that we do in this society will be gone. Most people will lose their jobs, including white-collar workers. Now, today we're seeing where the economy is going, where the jobs are or are not. So it's up to you if you agree or disagree with me. But I disagree with this. This was said in 1899. Everything that can be invented has been invented. Isn't that interesting? Now, since that time, ladies and gentlemen, we have been living in exciting times. We have created, from that time until today, inflatable windmills that produce electricity hovering up into the air, vertical farming, organic architecture, transparent concrete. We have created nanotechnology and all what that is allowing us to do. Now, if you think that everything can be invented, everything that can be invented has been invented, that will be a surprise for you to see all this. Now, since that phrase was said, we have also developed self-cleaning glass, and what you see there in the middle is organic architecture, a kind of architecture that wants to adapt to the environment and to use the natural resources in a wise way. That has a lot to do with what you were talking about before. Today, social media tools help us manage a rich and exciting social life, at least for those who have a life. We are also using in business other abilities. For example, we are being able today to gain traction for good ideas or for business of any kind faster than ever before in the history of humanity. We are communicating better than ever. We are migrating to the cloud lifestyle that allows us access to information wherever we are, making that information portable and accessible. Today, we have exposure to charity appeals in days rather than months, so that we can give help wherever the help is needed. Okay? We are doing also other things, but there are some more important things that I want to talk about today. The social interactivity that we're having is allowing for other things. For example, we are competing for the first time on a level field with many different industries and the consolidated players in those industries. Our cities are cleaner than ever before, and 3D printing is unleashing a new revolution that can now be expressed by anyone, anywhere. The Khan Academy, MIT, Stanford, and Textile Bristol, of course, is allowing a new generation to learn in an easier way than ever before and faster than ever before, making this knowledge accessible with tools, for example, like video. We have scientists asking to share more and more information for free. And we also have some good news in that regard. For example, these are some recent developments that led us to think that in the future we will be able to access a lot more information than we have today. This is extremely important. There are some more good news. And another thing that is very important for us to know is that today amateur scientists, those with the most horrible websites, but the best ideas, are thinking of solutions for all our current and future problems. This is great, regardless of how good or bad is the website. You'll agree with me that giving people the chance to create solutions to really important problems is really groundbreaking. Even children are doing it. And that's great news. Think about this. This hasn't happened before. Today, because things are cheap, these people can tinker with things that are not toys anymore. And at that age, when they are this age, they have all the ingenuity, all the creativity needed to create really good solutions, really creative ways that perhaps the people in academia are not easy to see, or perhaps they just don't want to put their reputation on. They will just lose too much if they take certain risks. These people don't care what they may lose. Another point there is that today, the tools that we have are allowing us to get rid of corruption faster than ever before. This is simply because now we can add computing power to the equation. When you put corruption in between the speed and depth of analysis that computers bring to the table, corruption will be gone. And you'll agree with me that an end to corruption is excellent news. This has never happened in the history of humanity before. There are repressive forces that are trying to prevent this from happening, but in the long term, this cannot be repressed. There's more information, more freely available to everyone, everywhere. We are seeing examples already. Now, this won't always be easy to do. There are certain people, certain industries that will prefer us to just keep on doing the things that in the way that we have been doing them before. Now, one of the most common misconceptions of our age is that evil internet pirates will kill artistic creation and lead to mass unemployment. This is a misconception. In any case, this will have to change simply because people just want to do what they can do, and it's much easier for them today than ever before to do just with the click of a button what they were not able to do before. Today, they can download music, they can do absolutely anything they want. With this computer, it's very difficult to track exactly what they're doing, where that information is coming from. Now, I'm not against, or I am not interested in this changing the world in any way. I'm just letting you know what may happen. This is impossible to stop. In the long term, we, as business people, will have to adapt our business models to this, which is what the people want, which is more free sharing. Now imagine the teenagers are downloading movies and music off the internet non-stop. The scientists want to share as much data as possible for free. And the soccer moms are pinning copyrighted photographs non-stop on Pinterest for free as well. Where is this taking us? Well, it's taking us to a different problem, which is censorship. As I said before, there are people that are trying to stop this from happening. It's very difficult, very hard, and the ones that know about computers here will know how difficult that is to happen. Now, there are different levels of censorship around the world. So any kind of repressive measures that you try to put in practice will naturally, in the end of the day, just be condemned to just be a failure. So we need to adapt to what we're doing. One of the reasons is that, as you can see, many different countries have many different interpretations on what is right, what is wrong, what is legal, what is illegal. So any country that establishes any kind of repressive measures against what the people really want to do will have cracks very rapidly appearing on that repressive system, as not every country agrees on this issue. Now, another myth that I would like to talk about, another misconception, is that there are too many people on the earth today. We're running out of the planet, and there's a lack of resources somehow. I respect very much what you said before, and I think that using the environment responsibly is very, very important. But this is a misconception. Ladies and gentlemen, today as we speak, your water is displaying a working prototype of a water extraction device near the desert in Abu Dhabi. That machine can produce 62 liters of water an hour, 1,000 liters of water a day. That's enough to provide water for a population of 2,000 to 3,000 people. Now think about it. If you can bring water to these areas, you can provide sanitation, you can produce food, and you can relocate people there. The availability of water is what allowed the ancient Egyptians to produce the first surplus of grain in known history, kickstarting what we know today as market-oriented advanced societies. That is very important. So next time you hear, oh my God, we're running out of planet, you can come back to this slide. There are certain advances. We are even extracting water today from moisture in the air. This is becoming cheaper, as it's becoming cheaper to desalinate seawater. So water will not be a problem. What is a problem today is perhaps the way in which resources are shared or utilized. And what is a problem today is that some people just don't want other people to have access to those resources. At least not without charging them a fee. If we want today, the tools are there, the technology is there, and we can change the world. Now it's up to us. Now, another myth or another misconception is that information is difficult to navigate. But you see, information is only difficult to navigate if you don't ask the right questions. Otherwise, it's easy. Say, for example, that you are a teen. You are just about to enter university and you are wondering what kind of profession you should go for. There you have the information. Say, for example, that you would like to know how is the competition like. Are also all your friends going at the same time for the same profession that you're going? There you have the information. Clearer than ever, easy access, right there on the internet. Now, any computer programmers in the room today? Anyone? How many? There are about 10, right? Okay, now, you guys imagine that you want to change your job. What kind of job should you concentrate on? There you have the answer. Very clear. I really love graphics. I learn very visually. So this is accessible for anyone today. Now, you see the availability of these tools, of this information, has made it possible that using these tools, you can have access and scan periodically or automatically any website for updates. Today we have more access to information than we've ever had before. And this is a radical change. This is very important. Why? Because if you know how to use these tools, you have an immense advantage over other job applicants. We are right in a transition period in which things will not be the same after that. You can call it 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Things are changing very rapidly. The ones that get there first will have a very important competitive advantage. Now we're talking about job seekers. And the entrepreneurs in the rooms may say, yeah, that's fine, but does it apply to business? Yes, it does. Say, for example, that your business caters to the gay market and you want to know where to direct your direct mail campaign next. Right there. There is the information. The same thing if you want to target the top business sectors in the UK, or if you want to target retailers, top retailers, or if you want to know where demands are, because you want to advertise to them, then you have the information. Say that you are an author and you like history and travel and you don't know which one of your 2 passions you should write a book about. There is the information. Now, if you're called Michael, you have a problem. Any Michaels in the room today? We know what kind of person you are, Michael. Now, look at this. If you're called Michael Jordan, this is even worse. You see what I mean? I don't know how Michael Jordan is still free. That guy has all the pointers, at least the data is telling us so. Now, you see that is a joke, but it's one of my main concerns, because not everything is perfect in the future. I agree with that. You see, here the data is telling us something. But if you want to worry about something in the future, worry about ignorance fueling stupid decisions. That's our main problem. Like the use of thought, like the use of data to prevent thought crime. You see, with great power comes great responsibility. So remember, our only real enemies are ignorance and stupidity. Now, how many of you have an Apple iPhone here? Apple iPhone? Okay? About half of the room or more, perhaps 60% of this room, have an Apple iPhone. You see, when the iPhone first came out, they were comparing it with a 40,000-year-old stone there, because it didn't have a video camera. Okay? Technically, the Nokia was a much better product at the time. However, today, Apple's profits were up 93% in the last year. The gross margin on an Apple iPhone is a massive 73%. Nokia, on the other hand, is having great financial difficulties. Why is this so? Because when you create emotional connections with your products, price becomes irrelevant. You see what Steve Jobs did there? He's a master at creating emotional connections between users and his products. When you do this, the price becomes irrelevant. What happens is that when you achieve that level of marketing mastery, the press will do your cheerleading for free, your user will do your marketing for you, and if you do it well enough, you will have them camping at your store door overnight to buy your product. Is this something that you want if you're in business? You're very quiet, but I would say that you do. Now, this is the difference between applying subconscious marketing, which is one of the things that I specialize in, and not doing it. Okay? As I said before, specs don't matter. Price doesn't matter. What is important is that you create powerful subconscious connections between your product and your user. That you make your user passionate about what you sell, about what you provide, about what you give them. That they believe in you like the Apple's fanboys believe in this brand. You see the results. It's not just mere talk. This chart speaks for itself. 2007, when the iPhones first came out. Here is a company that didn't understand the power of connecting emotionally with their users. The other one is the line of a company that did. 1,400% difference. What do you think about that? Now, this is the power of subconscious connection. In general, the future of business is good if you know how to use these new techniques. Overall, the future in general is good. We are more egalitarian, solidary. We care more about others than ever before. We have information at our fingertips that is much more valuable than ever before. If we really know how to use the tools, we have a competitive advantage over other job seekers, over other businesses. We can discover opportunities that we could have never seen before. We can today have friends from everywhere. We can do things that we never thought we would. So, even though there are challenges ahead, my message in general is optimistic for you. Today, you are part of an exciting time in history. And history is not made by flashy advances and great speakers, but by the everyday work of people just like you. Now finally, some recommendations. Number one, be ambitious. You could build the next 1 billion valuation company. Be ambitious like James was right here. Just a couple of months ago, or some months ago, not 2 months, but some time ago, this was just an idea in James' mind. Today, there are more than 50, 60, 70 people in this room. Be ambitious, as James was. Second, don't stop learning. Go deeper. Get the right information. Number three, beware of the experts, particularly the media experts. Many don't know what they're talking about, and they've proven it on the economy. Many of them have other interests. They're not impartial. Finally, beware of ignorant people. Run for the hills when you meet them, because ignorance is contagious. But don't hesitate to invest, to hear what the smart ones have to say. Because in a confusing information society, and I'm totally serious, the right information is worth gold. We live in the middle of a sea of information. The difficult part is to know who has the right information and who's just confusing us. My overall message is optimistic, and I hope that you look forward, like I do, to the future with hope, and knowing that we are on the right path to a better tomorrow. Thank you very much.